Tel Aviv, which is the gayest city in the world, very liberal, very cosmopolitan.
You mean gays, like people being gay?
Like, I mean like real gays.
Like men that hug each other?
I mean like real gays.
Like
yeah, and women can hug each other too.
Oh yeah, okay. I don't know what you're talking. I don't know if you're using it like hypothetically.
Like homosexuals, like real gays. Like very liberal.
You mean gay?
Yeah.
I didn't know if we were talking about different, a different branch of gays, or I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah,
just gays.
Yeah.
Yeah, just regular gays, yeah.
Yeah. So, are you gay?
Oh.
Intro of darkness, then redness, then whiteness. Do you guys remember Toby? Tobuscus. No, that's all right. We don't need to remember him. Anyway, guys, I have yet another video that I'm actually really excited about. Sometimes I'm not excited about the videos. It's just, I'm gonna make a video today. But this one I'm actually really excited about because Professor Jiang has been there was a phase where he was a special interest of mine. Where he was first popping off, I was just like absorbing everything, and I was like, what is this guy? What the hell is this guy's thing? What is he doing? He's already developing a cult. Why is there a cult? Why are people so obsessed with him? What's he doing? What's he talking about? He's actually kind of hard to nail down, this guy. He's difficult to nail down. Theo Von is crazy, by the way. I thought Theo Von was like 30, 35. Turns out like he's like 150. I mean, good gracious. Good job. But good gracious, I don't know how you look so young. So anyway, yeah, I'm very interested in this Professor Jiang guy. I'm very interested to bring him to you guys and see what he says in this video. We'll see if he's full of shit or not, and we'll see if we can get to the bottom of it together. And I know Theo, has been involved in some political stuff that maybe we don't like, but I can't help but like the guy. I'm sorry, he's just so damn charming and charismatic. I can't help it.
Today's guest is a teacher, geopolitics expert, and YouTuber known for his popular channel Predictive History, where he breaks down why global events happen and what could come next. Professor Jiang?
Hey, Theo.
Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Professor Jiang, thank you so much for coming by today.
Well, thanks so much for inviting me.
If there's any Theo Von experts in the audience, can you guys let me know, like, I know everybody is performing. I know if you're on a show, you're performing. I understand that. And I know that Theo is like a comedian, so I understand that some of this is a performance, but I've seen clips of him from when he was very young. And this like openness and this like straightforwardness in his approach was there from the very beginning. Character that he's had from the first time he went on screen, or is this just who he actually is? Because goddamn, for once it would be nice for one of these guys to just actually be like the open and nice guy that they seem to be.
Can you tell us a little bit about your channel for people that don't know about it?
Yeah, so I'm a high school teacher. And what I try to do is try to explain geopolitics in a way that students can appreciate. And what I try to do is, with my analysis, I try to make predictions.
But are these your students in your class, like during the daytime? I don't know if I would be cool with my daughter going in and getting an education from this guy. I don't know if you guys have seen what his predictions are, but the end result of his predictions are Pax Judaica, that like probably Israel's gonna like take over the world, or that Israel is intending to take over the world, and they will be the new America. We live under Pax Americana right now, and we will move into Pax Judaica, with them being the center of the world, Israel.
Okay, guys. Now let's look at how Pax Judaica profits. How they control the world. Well, AI surveillance systems and AI data centers, Israel will become a leader in that, okay? Because for AI data centers to be effective, they need to be safe. Everywhere else, there's going to be wars, right? Not Israel, because Israel has nuclear weapons. So we come to the end of the course, and all roads lead to Jerusalem.
Is that teaching history, or is that like making wild guesses and speculating wildly? And potentially wasting the time of the students who should be learning real history. I know he does talk about a lot of real history, but it's a lot of like not the kind of history that you would usually be getting tested on, or that would be relevant once they get to university or anything. It's okay. I mean, benefit of the doubt. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Worldview, my own hypothesis. And so 2 years ago, while I was teaching this class, I made 3 predictions. The first is that Trump would win in 2024, and that he would launch this war against Iran, and that he would lose this war. And I blew up online because it turns out that all 3 predictions turned out to be accurate.
Well, the first 2 for sure. Before we move on with it, do you teach at high school?
That's right. I teach at high school level.
What's something that's kind of unique about a school in China, maybe that we wouldn't know?
Well, there are no guns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, Professor Jiang, got him. I mean, that's not unique to China, but different than America. Yeah.
Good. You
Fair
win.
point.
You win that round.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Look.
So I've been in China and we're just brainwashed all the time about American schools, American culture. Yeah.
But at least you're brainwashed not to have guns in school.
Yeah,
That's some of the positive brainwashing, at least.
Yeah. So the idea of game theory is that if you want to analyze someone's behavior, you have to look at three things. First of all, you have to look at the structure of the game. How do you win the game? What are the rules? What are the incentives? And once you figure that out,
This is part of the reason why I'm a little concerned, or why my flags are up that he might be a grifter, is because he treats game theory like the way that Jordan Peterson talks about Jung or Dostoevsky. Like, whenever an academic or an intellectual has one theory that they think can solve the world and explain the whole world and enable them to predict the future, the world's not that simple. The world is not so simple that any one single theory can explain it fully and explain every interaction in it. I've just been learning from a video about Peter Thiel and about Peter Thiel's like professor that he's obsessed with, and about how they believe in this thing called like mimesis, and they believe mimesis explains everything. It's just another thing. Jordan Peterson was my guy who had a theory that solves everything that I believed in, and then as I grew up and saw that he was a bit of a grifter, and I looked around and I saw, there's been grifters throughout history that have said the same thing. My philosophy, my theory that I've written about, can answer everything, can explain everything, can solve everything. And then either me as a charismatic leader and writer, or one of my students will become an absolute lunatic and take this theory to the extreme and tell everybody that it's the way to solve everything, and they'll sell 1 trillion books off it. That's just how it goes.
and that's how I'm able to make some amazing predictions.
Yeah, I know the game theory. I remember first hearing about it in that film.
Oh, let's slow down a little bit. Amazing predictions that Trump was going to win. That's pretty amazing that Trump was going to start a war with Iran on behalf of Israel that's been campaigning for that for decades, and who clearly had Trump in their pocket the whole time, and who Trump has done everything they've asked. I mean, that's like a 50-50, right? And you got it.
Beautiful Mind.
Oh yes.
Who was what was the guy's name, Nick?
John Nash.
John Nash. Yeah, he
Yes.
uses that like whenever he's examining
That's
things
right.
or trying to figure things out. He uses that in there.
That's right. And he went crazy too.
Yeah. Anyway, crazy. So best of luck.
Right. Thank you.
Professor Jiang, I hope this video shows that I'm open. But man, I really would like to get to know you better. If you do see this, I've seen you see small channels. I know you like to network. I'm a tiny channel, but if you see this and you're open to having a conversation, I would love to have a conversation with you. I do think you're interesting. I hope you're not a grifter, but I would love to have a conversation with you. Obviously not in person, because you're obviously not going to come to Australia, and I am too poor to come anywhere to where you are. But, like Discord or Zoom or something.
How are you viewing the war in Iran right now?
Yeah, the best case scenario is that it becomes America's Vietnam. But I think the problem is
That's best case scenario.
That's best case scenario. Yeah. But I think
I'm guessing by that they mean like America pulls out.
long term, Ukraine will ultimately lose this war. So to change that dynamic, what Zelensky wants to do is lure America into the war. And the best way he can do that is to combine the two fronts. If Zelensky shows that Russia can supply Iran through the Caspian Sea, then America needs to stop this trade.
That doesn't make any sense. What if Ukraine can show that Russia can supply Iran? Everybody knows that Russia can supply Iran. Everybody knows that Russia and Iran have economic deals and they trade with each other, right?
So there's a real threat that these two fronts merge, in which case all bets are off, in which case it's World War III. And you can also see the possibility of systems collapse, civilizational collapse as well.
All of that from that.
Really?
So I wonder if I do wonder a lot if Professor Jiang was speaking to someone who like pushed back a little bit, who wasn't just listening. Like, I'm probably not the right guy because I'm not educated in these things, but I would just be asking like obvious questions. But if someone was asking him obvious questions like, or just pointing out the obvious that he's sort of doomsaying a lot, and that doomsaying is very effective for clicks, and that it makes him seem a little bit disingenuous, maybe. Like, would he just like agree with that and say like, yeah, I'm trying to get attention here, and I think these are real issues, or would he say, no, I genuinely do believe doomsday is coming, or Or what? Because just the point is that every grifter thinks that doomsday is coming and tells you that doomsday is coming, and that incentivizes you to part with your hard-earned cash.
Because that's where the world
But
gets...
Ukraine and the Middle East are pretty far from each other. Can you even show me on this globe, actually? How far away from each other are they?
Right. So this is really interesting.
Dude,
okay?
honestly, thanks, Theo. Thanks, man. Thanks for being the common everyman, because me too, I don't know. I don't know geography.
Economic collapse in East Asia, which would then cause a domino effect where Africa breaks down, you have civil war, revolution in Africa. Then what happens? These migrants shift over to Europe. And we've already seen that last week when you have this 50,000 essentially
In Morocco?
invasion.
In Spain?
That's right. A place called Ceuta.
An invasion, man? Was it an invasion, or was it a...
Spain, yeah.
Right, and that's a small part of Spain that's actually connected to Morocco,
That's right. That's right. We can see how volatile the situation is.
This is also ignoring that the rest of the world also depends on that oil. It's not just Asian countries and African countries. It wouldn't just be those countries suffering through hardship and needing to immigrate. If the world collapses like that, only the wealthiest of the wealthiest of the wealthy will be safe on their massive compounds. If them, pretty much it'll be a free-for-all for everyone else.
Ukraine and Russia together supplies the world with 1/3 of its carbohydrates. So about Ukraine...
Say that again. Ukraine and Russia together supply the world with 1/3 of their carbohydrates?
So yeah. So
is that what you're saying?
So what I'm saying is 1/3 of the world's carbohydrates comes from Ukraine and Russia together. Imagine Saudi Arabia as just this huge oil field.
Okay.
Right? And it's great in a time of peace because you can take this huge oil field and sell it to Japan, China, South Korea, India. But the problem is that a huge oil field means it's a lake of gasoline. So all I have to do is take a match, light it on fire, and then everything blows up.
Wow.
And I can do that with its drone and ballistic missile capabilities. And so...
That's like... What? Sorry. That's not how oil harvesting works. It's not... Americans watching, Saudi Arabia is not a swamp of oil that you can light on fire. Just a little correction there. Can destroy energy infrastructure. Yep. But why would they destroy it when it's also their leverage? You know, if they control the Strait of Hormuz and they control the passage of all of this stuff, then it's also their leverage. Why would they destroy it? What are you talking about?
So, yes, sometimes we hear about these groups. You hear about Hamas, you hear about Hezbollah,
Yes.
but the people there in some of these countries actually prefer some of these groups or actually do support some of these groups because they're kind of an outlier government that's more supportive to the people
That's right.
than the...
Or they're just a part of the government. They're just a party in the government. But Americans wouldn't know that because as far as you guys are concerned, they're just terrorists. Every brown person that disagrees with you in the Middle East is a terrorist. And that completely obliviates any kind of humanity that they had or any history that they had or relation to a political party that they have. They're just terrorists. Not putting this on you, Theo, but sort of. I mean, it's just an American thing. It's not even an American thing. It's a white people thing.
Actual government?
That's right. So they're popular because they are able to provide basic community services.
I just looked it up to confirm. Yeah, these guys, Professor Jiang, I know Theo doesn't know this, but Professor Jiang is doing a lot to avoid saying that, no, they are actually a part of the Lebanon politics. They're not, he's framing it as they're like this other power group, you know, that's like a separate from the government. But no, they're a part of the government. They're a party in the government. It's like saying that like the Republicans are this crazy sect that sometimes takes power and, you know, you get it.
Recently, Trump had spoken up. I think it was even just the other day where he said, that Iran will be hit very hard. You know, he's always like, we're going to hit it, you know, we're going to hit him in the fucking head nuts or whatever. We're going to fucking hit him in the...
we're going to fucking give him the biff, give him the bosh.
And the real fear is that the Americans will be under so much pressure that they use tactical nuclear weapons against Iran. And then we could be looking at...
In what fucking world? I mean, we are ruled by irrational lunatics. So I guess if there really is nobody that can stop Trump, and he does have like dementia and he's not sleeping at night and he is like not in reality, I guess that could happen. But If there are any kind of protections in place, which I hope there are, I hope there are, that shouldn't happen, wouldn't happen. Guys, you need to get Trump out of office. You guys need to build Trump a pretend White House that he can go and think he's still the president in. Send in a bunch of reporters to entertain him, make him think that he's the president, ask him questions, fluff him a little bit, give him give him low ball questions, make it easy for him, and just let him pretend and let someone else take over. At this point, I don't even care who it is. Just someone who doesn't have dementia, please.
That's World War III for sure.
No, it's the end of civilization for sure.
Professor Jiang, what are we gonna do?
There's a Tim Robinson bit where the premise is like a scientist is explaining to a guy who doesn't know anything about nothing about like global warming, climate change, that things are getting bad, and the guy's just like, "Oh, I really want to punch you right now. Oh, you're pissing me off." It's like, don't tell me bad news. I sympathize, man.
Dude, I heard that if you go to heaven, this is something I heard that's kind of cool, just to take a break from the war stuff for a second. If you go to heaven, and thank you for explaining this, and thank you for discussing the escalation ladder with us.
Yes.
If you go to heaven, that when you get there, your friends are there,
Yeah.
right? All your friends that you knew from here and your family, but they all like work in different places. So you might go to
still?
like a Jersey Mike's in heaven, and your brother or your ex-girlfriend could be working there. And once you lock eyes with each other, you have memories of like things that you knew from this period here.
American capitalism brain rot is so crazy. Even heaven is capitalism. Even heaven is capitalism, guys. What the hell?
Yeah.
But it's brand new there. So it's like you get to go everywhere and find your old friends and stuff. So it'd be pretty cool. Like you could be somewhere and like Frederick
pretty
Douglass or whatever could be a park ranger, or Xi Jinping or something he could be working at an ice cream stand,
Yeah.
So it could be kind of cool anyway.
Yeah, it sounds
Xi
pretty cool.
Jinping, your
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
So just letting you in on a little bit of BTS heaven lore.
Great.
Just letting you know the good news.
It would be impractical for America to end up in a nuclear war, though.
Yeah, I don't think it will happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't think that will happen?
I don't think it will happen, no.
What's
Okay, well, thanks for clarifying that like 15 minutes later.
Bill Clinton is in office, and Bill Clinton is obsessed
No, he's not.
with peace in the Middle East.
No, he isn't.
and just to be clear, this isn't Jewish people. We're talking about the Israeli government and extremist views, right?
That's right. It's not necessarily a Jewish person. Zionist is someone who believes in supremacy of Israel.
Okay, so a Zionist is someone who believes in supremacy of Israel. Look it up, Nick, because I hear the term. We might have talked about it before. We've probably talked about it before.
For someone like Theo, it'd probably just be useful to say like Zionism is like white supremacy, but for Jewish people. Well, I don't know. That felt yucky coming out. I don't know why. It seems like it, but I can't. There's something feels wrong about it, so I'm not sure. That looks like Wikipedia. That's better than AI in my books.
What does ethnocultural nationalist mean, Nick? Can you click on that?
Yeah, that one's a pretty simple question. Let Professor Jiang answer that.
Ethnic nationalism is a form of nationalism in which the nation and nationality are defined in terms of ethnicity.
Yeah, like the Nazis.
Yeah,
white
what
supremacists.
does that mean? Ethnocultural nationalism.
What it really means is there are certain people, Zionists, who believe that God promised this land to the Jews and only the Jews. And
Okay.
therefore only the Jews should be in this land.
Well, Zionism isn't only the theory that God provided that land. There's also Zionism just based on this is ours. It's not all religiously motivated, I don't think. I think there's religious elements and just political elements of just this is ours. This was ours before, it's ours now. And also the people who live here now are Muslims, and that's bad. And we are the shield for the West and the sword for the West.
But what about people who just believe that that Jewish people deserve to have their own place as well? Is that Zionism?
So there are different
What's that as well there, Theo? Do we usually like it when countries define themselves by just only allowing one ethnicity in? Or would we say that's a bit weird, bit sus? It's not like Israel is like, oh, we've always been here the whole time. We just want to stay in our own place and not have other people invade us. It's more like, oh, no, an invading army is coming in and claiming an area and then saying, can't we just have this? Just let us have this forever. Can't we just have our own place?
form Zionism that has taken hold over Israel.
Okay.
Because remember, in the 1990s, the majority of people were supportive of a two-state solution. They wanted peace with the Arabs.
In 1990s, is that true? Let's bring that up.
Stop looking things up. That's too much.
Let
You're
me
interrupting
see.
the flow.
But we call the settlers, right?
Okay.
These are people who go against Israeli national law and go and forcefully evict Palestinians from their homes, even though this is against Israeli national law.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of cases of that. You can see them.
Laws don't exist if they're not enforced and openly. It's openly acknowledged that they're not enforced, and they even have like soldiers backing them up. Often, that's not anything.
And you believe that it is Israel's destiny to dominate the Middle East. Your real enemy is not Iran, right? Who's your real enemy? The United States of America.
Oh, the United States.
Right? Because the United States provides security guarantees to many Arab nations. Saudi Arabia is protected by the United States.
That's kind of a good point. He's kind of spitting facts there. Israel is constantly doing everything they can to absorb as much money out of America as they can and undermine the politics as they can. So that's kind of a good point.
Well, you would achieve the Greater Israel Project.
Wow.
Ecological disruptions, all kinds of other environmental disasters.
And do you think that's what's going on?
I think that's the direction we're moving towards. Whether or not they will succeed, I can't really say, but I think that's the plan.
But surely the people of Israel don't want to see all that, like they don't want to see so many people get killed and that sort of stuff happen. You think they want to?
I think Israel may be heading towards a civil war between two places. You have
Theo, you live in America. You live in a country that after one tragedy happened, you guys like decimated the Middle East and you guys were going, "Hoorah, hoorah, America, USA, USA, USA." Yeah, you live in a country that gets hype about violence and war all the time. You can't imagine how a population, how a civilian population could get like amped up and excited for mass murder. You can't say that. Come on.
Tel Aviv, which is the gayest city in the world. Very liberal, very cosmopolitan.
You mean gays, like people being gay?
Like, I mean like real gays.
Like men that hug each other?
I mean like real gays. And women can hug each other too.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I don't know what you're talking. I don't know if you're using it like hypothetically.
Like homosexuals, like real gays. Like very liberal.
You mean gay?
Yeah.
I didn't know if we were talking about different, a different branch of gays, or I didn't know what was going on.
Just
gays.
Yeah.
Yeah, just regular gays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gays.
Yeah. So, are you gay?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
What is happening here?
Sorry. Why did the Holocaust happen?
The Holocaust happened, I guess, because of an ideology that was created by Hitler and his regime.
Yeah, it was Hitler's fault, right?
That's a pretty tough question. Pretty tough question for Theo, but okay.
So for God to return, first of all, his promise must be kept.
Okay.
So the first thing is the Greater Israel Project must be achieved. Second thing that must happen is all Jewish people must return to Israel and repent. The third temple must be built because that's where God will live.
Okay, got it.
But the problem is the site of the third temple is now where the Al-Aqsa Mosque is. And the Al-Aqsa Mosque is the third holiest site in the Muslim world. So if they destroy the Al-Aqsa Mosque in order to build a third temple, this would
like a lot of this stuff is like right for the most part, but I think it's worthy mentioning that Christianity has the same thing almost more or less. Christianity also has an apocalyptic doomsday that it predicts. Christianity has a holy war at the end of times that people have been using to justify violence endlessly. Any empire that rises to power and has like a state religion or a religion that most of the people follow, that religion can be used to motivate things. Yeah, Jewish extremists exist, Zionism exists, so do like Christian extremists, so do extremists of all sorts. So it's just worth stating that because sounds like a nitpick, but it's worth stating that because we live in a world where lots of people are very racist towards Muslim people and Arab people. So it's just worth clarifying a lot. Just really hammering it in, just reminding people it's not just them.
The vast majority of Jewish people who are religious think this is heresy.
Okay.
This is madness. It's insane.
Well, you could also just say it's like, hey, Theo, you know the Christian Bible, and it has all the Antichrist stuff at the end there. It's like reading that and thinking that it's literal and that it has to happen for heaven to come because, right, heaven comes after all that stuff for the Antichrist. So it's like taking that and helping it along, bringing it along. Theo would understand that comparison. He's grown up in a Christian world. Actually, maybe it would be offensive because he is Christian, I guess. No, I think he would understand it. I think Theo's grown up enough to understand that it's like taking the end of times from the Christian religion and then trying to bring it into reality.
They believe that God has a divine plan. And all I'm doing is helping God accelerate this plan.
Wow. Oh my gosh, dude. What the heck?
So you just put it in Christian terms for him and now he gets it.
So that's part of some people's faith. They believe they have a strong enough faith that
See, I told you, he didn't even do it right, but he put it in vaguely, like terms that he can understand as Christian terms, very simply, and then Theo was like, yeah, man.
believe that what they're doing is helping to accelerate it.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to think anymore.
You're telling me that there are people in the world trying to bring about the end of the world? What the fuck? What the fuck am I doing anymore? What's the point of any of this? You're telling me there are bad people in the world? Oh my god, shit. Guys, did you know there's people in the world who are trying to bring about the end of the world sometimes? Fuck. Shit. And global warming's real too? Fuck.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to think anymore.
And that's why things
I
are
love you,
happening so
Theo.
fast. I mean,
Dude, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like things are happening so fast.
yeah,
It's just like, what is? It's happening so fast.
yeah.
So how does this end?
Man, Theo, that's how he looks young still. He is a little boy. He's a little boy at heart, and he's staying a little boy forever. That's just how a little boy would respond to that. It's so cute. Man,
It sucks. What do we do? How does this end? What are we doing? Fuck.
I mean, that's kind of dark, but
Maybe we just leave it to be continued. You think?
yeah.
You're Chinese.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Okay, sorry. Just making sure. I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know for sure if you are or not. Some people has anybody
What's
ever said they
China?
thought you were a plant they thought
Oh
you
yeah.
yeah
Yeah.
What do you
absolutely.
do?
Yeah.
Okay, so now and then,
Because you'd be a good Chinese asset.
yeah, yeah. Well, there are people who believe I'm the Antichrist.
Nuh-uh.
So, are you gay?
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but it's like these moments that make this world so wonderful and so blessed. So we should just focus on moments like this.
Yeah.
And I think the greatest problem in the world that we have today is gatekeeping. There's too much gatekeeping in media. There's too much gatekeeping in academics. So, for example, I'm not really a professor, right?
You're not?
I'm not.
I was just thinking that I'm going to wrap up soon and that I'm going to say that there hasn't been too much of a grift in here, but gatekeeping in academics, that's a pretty big red flag.
Gatekeeping in academics. So, for example, I'm not really a professor, right?
You're not?
You're not?
I'm not a professor. I'm a high school teacher.
Okay.
I don't have a PhD, right? So just
Jesus Christ. He's like, oh, Jesus Christ, we're 2+ hours into this recording. You're not a professor. Who the fuck are you? Who am I talking to?
honesty, okay?
Okay,
But that's
thank
just
you.
gatekeeping,
For
like
honesty
where,
at the end of the 2 hours, right?
where if you're not a college professor, you don't have a PhD, you're not a specialist, you don't get to be called a professor, okay?
Right.
So there's just too much gatekeeping.
That's not gatekeeping. That's how words work. Words with descriptions have to mean things. Otherwise, nobody knows who anybody is. And we all just become grifters.
going on.
Yeah.
I think that one way to improve our society is if experts are forced to make predictions. Because now we know how good their knowledge set is, right?
No.
Right? And now it's
Being an expert in something doesn't mean that you're able to make predictions about it. Being an expert in something means that you know the ins and outs of the history of something, that you're intimately familiar with it. Prediction is a completely different thing. Prediction is dealing with probabilities and people's motivations and what's going on the ground. Prediction also is not something that anybody can get consistently right. So what is the point of having a bar of predictions for people? You're just saying that retroactively now because you said a couple of things that you got right. Yeah, it's fucked up that you call yourself a professor, in my opinion. You shouldn't call yourself a professor. If you don't have a doctorate, you shouldn't call yourself a doctor because that's lying. And I don't like lying. I don't prefer it. As always, thank you for watching. Thanks for sticking around with me. Thanks for listening to my bullshit. Thanks for watching my little bullshit videos that I'm making. I hope you like the new background. Tell me how to fix it. If you don't, consider becoming a like, comment, subscribe. Again, say it every couple of videos. I'm still small enough that literally like every single comment, subscription, like all of those things pushes me out to new people, and new people get to see my beautiful little face. Consider becoming a member on YouTube if you would like your name in the credits, or on Patreon. There's also Patreon. Either one. Either one will get your name in the credits. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have a great conclusion for Professor Jiang. I'm still in that position of being a little bit unsure if he's a grifter or just a guy who's genuinely trying to have conversations. But my history with guys who are just trying to have conversations is that generally they do pan out to be grifters. So, and you ended this one on a pretty bad note. So, for my personal taste. So, anyway, bye bye.